Good morning, Judge. Yes, I'm here for Adrian Razzo's first appearance.
This is an arraignment?
Yes.
Hey, do you mind bringing him up?
Yes, Judge. How you doing this morning, Judge? I'm well, thank you.
Been a while.
It has been a little while. I was excited when I got hired for this case.
Hey.
Coming back in.
Oh, we're happy to have.
Council, do you guys have arraignments? Are you doing arraignments first?
Sorry, guys, let me, we'll try to blow through them. You're Adrian Razzo. Mr. Razzo, you're charged with harassment. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On October 2nd, 2024, officers were called to a residence and spoke to the complaining witness who stated that the defendant is her ex-boyfriend. The complainant stated the defendant moved out a year ago on August 15, 2023 after an argument. The complainant stated that the defendant came to the location on September 1st, 2023, grabbed all his belongings and hasn't been back since. The complainant stated on the date of the offense on October 2nd, the defendant stated, started texting her saying, "If you don't change the locks and let me in the house, you will regret it." Also, the defendant continued to text intimidating messages requesting paperwork and the deeds to the house. The complainant asked him to stop texting and to leave the location. The defendant refused to leave the location and kept calling and texting the complainant. The officer observed the defendant parked at the end of the driveway, preventing the complainant from parking there, and the defendant remained on scene while the officer was there, never exiting his vehicle, and he was seen occasionally turning his car on and off. The officer observed approximately 30 calls and 25 text messages from the defendant while the officer was on scene.
And Mr. Razzo, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person. Do you understand? I'm ordering you also not to go within 200 feet of where this person lives or where this person works. If I find that you violate this, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. I'm going to protect every single person in this county. I don't care what you think. I don't care how you feel. If you're kicking and screaming that we have to put you in jail, it makes no difference to me. Do you understand? You have a great lawyer. It's your responsibility to stay in touch with him, and he will tell you when you have to come back to court. I will waive your appearance so I don't have to waste your time. But like I said, if you pick up a new case, violate any of these conditions, into jail you will go. No more PR bonds. So do you mind filing no contact, no weapons? And then we'll have him sign it. Okay, so I'm gonna have him sign a reset. We'll have him wait in the jury box for the bond conditions and free to go.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Leslie, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
McIntyre, come on up. Page 15.
Christopher McIntyre. Mr. McIntyre, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On October 5th, 2024, officers met Webster PD and a witness following a possible DWI at 14835 Sun Harbor Drive in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed the defendant, the driver of the vehicle, pull into a garage off a public roadway. The officer made contact with the defendant and observed the strong odor of an alcoholic beverage. The defendant, unable to follow instructions, red glossy eyes, slurred speech, stumbling while walking, and poor balance. Standard field sobriety tests were refused. The defendant was read the DIC and refused breath and blood. The will witness stated she witnessed the defendant fall off a motorcycle twice, and the defendant was swaying and unable to maintain balance while trying to pick the motorcycle up. The will witness stated they went through.
He's on a motorcycle, driving it, and he falls off the motorcycle twice?
Yes, Your Honor. And the will witness stated that they went through 2 red light cycles as well before the defendant drove off. The will witness followed with hazard lights on, driving 70 miles per hour in a 35-mile-per-hour zone to stay within eye contact of the defendant, and was on the phone with 911 the entire time. A blood search warrant was obtained and executed.
I see that he had a prior DWI dismissed about a year and a half ago. What else, Alex, what other criminal history do you see? Anything?
No other besides that dismissed DWI.
I'm gonna find probable cause, but I'm debating whether to put an interlock on him. That has me pretty worried, Mr. Legrand. You know? Mr. McIntyre, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. For the time being, I'm ordering you not to drive any vehicle that doesn't have an ignition interlock on it. If you're caught driving a vehicle that doesn't have an interlock, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. If I find that I can trust you and that you're not going to consume, then we can talk about taking it off. But for the time being, I mean, this is really scary, man. You're on a motorcycle and, you know, God forbid something happens that you tear your head up, you know, really. I'll pay for it for you so that there'll be no issues for you, but for the time being, no alcohol. If I find that you're using, and I don't care what the source is, cakes, candies, foods, gums, energy drinks, tequila, lollipops, hair dye, whatever it is, we will not give you any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Sir.
Okay. What do you do for a living, sir?
Manager of IT.
Of what?
I'm manager of technical services for Blood.
Okay,
IT judge.
got it. All right.
Quiet.
You've got a great lawyer. Listen to him. He will take care of you. I will waive your appearance because you have a lawyer, but you must stay in touch with Mr. Legrand and he will tell you if and when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you, then likewise, I will revoke your bond. Be careful out there. You have but one life. And on a motorcycle, it's, you know, my wife is a nurse and she calls it kidneys on wheels because so many accidents and you get into one. I mean, really. Okay, I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. After that, I'll have you with pretrial. So we'll have you sign the bond conditions and after that, you'll be free to go.
Judge, can we go ahead and at request of permission to travel? He does have a trip coming up and I
Yes.
don't know if you are doing call-ins or not.
We do for the time being,
Okay.
you know.
He's going to Japan with his wife. It says they're getting married. That's their wedding trip. And
Okay.
it's, what are the
And are you
dates?
going in?
10th to the 24th.
November.
November.
November
We'll
10th.
allow you to go, but understand you're still under bond condition of this court. I don't care if you're in Abu Dhabi, wherever you are, you're not allowed to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. And you're going to get tested the minute you arrive back. So beware. No means no, and I don't care where you are. Okay? All right. Please. So we'll let Ms. Legrand, we'll let them know now so that he's not going to get called between those dates.
Okay.
Okay?
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Please.
Right this way.
And if you can file the guardian interlock
Yes,
report,
it's in
please.
there, Judge. Page 5, Pierre.
Yeah, 3 days, yeah. Or, you know what? When did he say his trip was? Okay, yeah, 3 days. And then waive the fee. Yes, on all DWIs, no drugs, no alcohol, random analysis, and then I'll tell you if there are any other changes. What was your last name, sir?
Pierre.
C.A. That's it, Pierre Cia.
Yes.
So, Mr. Cia, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Apologize, Your Honor. Can I get the last name, how to spell it?
C is in cat,
Mhm.
E-A.
I think it's.
You want a cause number?
Can we confirm the cost number?
It's 253-2145. Don't say anything, please. We're about to do probable cause. Anything you say, they're going to use it against you. Now's not the time. Okay,
On October 2nd, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a major crash at the 2400 block of West 18th Street in Harris County, Texas. The witness, a Houston Fire Department employee, stated he observed the defendant asleep at the wheel, the defendant's vehicle on with the key in ignition, and the vehicle in drive. The witness stated the defendant mentioned drinking earlier in the day. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver of the vehicle, and observed red glassy eyes, a moderate odor of an alcoholic beverage, incoherence, poor balance, and standard field sobriety tests were attempted. However, the defendant was unable to follow the stimulus during the HGN, and thus the standard field sobriety tests were not completed. The defendant was read the DIC, and a blood search warrant was obtained and executed.
DWIs? I see the one that was dismissed
It was just the
10 years ago, but
no other DWIs, Your Honor.
Mr. C, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. Do you have a Texas driver license, sir?
Yeah.
Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Yes.
I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond to obtain and not to drive any vehicle that doesn't have an ignition interlock on it. If you're caught driving a vehicle that doesn't have an interlock, you will go to jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. There's a lot of timing requirements with the DWI, so I wouldn't sit there and wait a month or 2 months because you're only hurting yourself. You need to be in touch with a lawyer really quick.
Yes, sir.
I will have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, we'll get you a pre-trial for your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Please, sir. Stephen, what? Okay,
Mr. Fuller, Your Honor.
good morning, Mr. Fuller. Mr. Fuller, you're charged with terroristic threat. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
The complainant's husband is a plaintiff in a civil suit against the defendant. And husband and defendant were engaged in a Zoom deposition. Deposition on October 2nd when the defendant.
It's husband and wife, and they're suing each other?
Yes, Your Honor.
Stop.
Order in the court.
Okay,
This will be interesting.
this is the complex
Yes, Your
case.
Honor.
Let me jump in.
Wonderful.
really
Finally.
quick. Okay, so this defendant is a defendant in an ongoing civil suit. The plaintiff in that civil suit is married to the complainant in the defendant's criminal case.
Say it again.
Okay, so the complainant in this case, this is Rachel. She is married to the plaintiff
Okay.
in the civil suit against the defendant.
Okay.
So it was during a Zoom deposition that was happening between the parties, and the defendant logged off early, and he stated that he had to go to a hospital, I think because his daughter might have been in the hospital. And I'm going to refer to the husband as the plaintiff, if that would help. There's a lot of parties, but the plaintiff.
To Rachel's husband.
Yes.
Okay.
Rachel's husband, he asked Rachel to basically check and see if the defendant was telling the truth. So he asked Rachel to park on the defendant's street and basically follow his car. And then the complaining witness, Rachel, followed the car. She saw the defendant pull into a nail salon and drop his wife off at the nail salon. And that is when the confrontation happened. The complaining witness, Rachel, she began recording the defendant. The defendant saw her. The defendant got out of his car and he threatened to shoot the complaining witness. The complaining witness began driving away, and the defendant followed her with his vehicle until the complaining witness was able to get away.
What's the suit about?
It is, well, I only have what the plaintiff told me and the complaining witness, but they told me that this defendant defrauded their company. I think he's the CEO of like a hedge fund. And just to let you know, I believe, I was told that there are also pending federal charges in this case from the Department of Justice related to the defrauding.
Oh, that they're,
Not in,
has federal charges pending?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Fuller, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to have contact with this complaining witness. Do you understand? When I mean no contact, I mean no contact in any way. Phone calls, text messages, Snapchats, anything like this. If you're in a deposition and you're in court, that's something else. But don't try to have any contact with this person. You have a lawyer, correct?
Yes, sir. He's,
Okay, hold on. No. I don't want to talk about anything because right now you really could hurt yourself. So if for some reason you have to have contact with these people for any reason, use your lawyer. That's why you have a lawyer. The lawyer is there to protect you, help you in every way that they can, right? So for any reason, if you have to, anything regarding them, use your lawyer. Don't do anything on your own because it's going to go sideways real quick. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to protect every person in Harris County, and I don't care what the reason is. I don't care what you try to justify it as. I'm just going to put you in jail.
that's our next arraignment.
Okay. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Can I have you, do you have a lawyer now?
Yes, sir.
Who's your lawyer?
Michael Pham.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, so you don't have to waste your time coming to court. But you have to stay in touch with Mr. Pham, and he'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court.
Yes, sir.
Now, have you go sign a reset with Victoria. After that, I'm gonna have you take a seat in the jury box where we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and after that, you'll be free to go. All right? Please.
Right this way.
So